In the heart of a fog-shrouded town nestled between the whispering pines, there stood an old Victorian mansion, its windows like dark eyes peering into the souls of those who dared to approach. Legends whispered of its former occupants dabbling in the occult, summoning spirits from the netherworld for guidance and wealth. Few dared to venture inside, but for those who sought answers beyond the veil, it was an irresistible temptation. Amongst the curious souls drawn to the mansion was a group of friends. Emma, a skeptic with a penchant for adventure. Marcus, a thrill-seeker always chasing the next adrenaline rush. And Sarah, a believer in the supernatural, yearning for a glimpse into the unknown. Together, they embarked on a journey into the mansion's depths, armed with candles, a Ouija board, and a thirst for answers. As they gathered in the dimly lit parlor, the air thickened with anticipation. Marcus joked nervously, Emma rolled her eyes, and Sarah clutched the planchette with trembling hands. With bated breath, they called upon the spirits, their voices echoing through the silent chambers. At first, there was only silence, broken only by the creaking of floorboards and the distant howl of the wind. Then, as if in response to their summons, a chill descended upon the room, and the candles flickered ominously. A voice, hollow and ethereal, whispered secrets from beyond the grave, promising riches and power to those who dared to listen. But amidst the whispers, something sinister stirred in the shadows. The atmosphere grew tense, fraught with unseen danger. And then, with a deafening crash, the lights went out, plunging the room into darkness. In the ensuing chaos, amidst the screams and panicked shuffling, life was taken. When the lights flickered back to life, illuminating the scene in stark relief, they found Sarah lying on the floor, her lifeless eyes staring into the abyss. Accusations flew like arrows in the dark, each member of the group casting suspicion upon the others. Marcus claimed innocence, his hands shaking as he pointed towards the shadows where the ghost had lurked. Emma scoffed at the idea of supernatural intervention, accusing Marcus of orchestrating the murder to satisfy his twisted desires. But as tensions reached a fever pitch, a chilling realization dawned upon them. The truth lay not in the realm of the living, but in the echoes of the past. For in their desperation to summon the spirits, they had unwittingly unleashed something far more malevolent than they could have ever imagined. As the sun rose on the blood-stained walls of the mansion, casting long shadows upon the scene of the crime, the truth remained shrouded in mystery. Was it the ghost who had taken Sarah's life, seeking vengeance for the intrusion into its domain? Or was it one of their own, driven mad by the darkness that lurked within? In the end, the answers remained elusive, buried beneath layers of deception and deceit. And as the whispers of the mansion faded into the ether, a chilling reminder echoed through the corridors of time. Some secrets are best left buried in the shadows of the unseen. Rain lashed against the windows of the dilapidated Victorian mansion, the wind howling like a tortured soul. Inside, a group of four, each burdened by their own secrets and desires, huddled around a dusty Ouija board, their faces illuminated by the flickering candlelight. There was Alice, a young woman haunted by the recent loss of her fiancé, seeking solace in the whispers of the beyond. Bob, a jaded journalist chasing a sensational story for his dying career. Charlie, a wealthy businessman plagued by a crippling gambling addiction. And finally, Diana, a mysterious woman with an air of quiet power, her motives shrouded in shadows. As the storm raged outside, the room held its breath. Alice, her voice barely a whisper, placed her trembling fingers on the planchette. "Is there anyone here?" she asked, her voice echoing in the cavernous room. The planchette remained still for a moment, then began to move, tracing a chilling message across the board. "Yes." A jolt of adrenaline shot through the group. Bob, his skepticism momentarily forgotten, scribbled a question. "Who are you?" The planchette danced across the board, spelling out, Elizabeth. A collective gasp filled the room. Elizabeth was the name of the mansion's previous owner, a woman rumored to have taken her own life within these very walls decades ago. Suddenly, the air grew frigid, a spectral presence seemingly materializing in the room. The candle flames flickered, casting grotesque shadows on the walls. A disembodied voice, sorrowful and laced with rage, echoed through the room. They took everything from me. They deserve to suffer. Panic seized Alice. She snatched her hand back from the planchette, the board clattering to the floor. But it was too late. The entity's fury was unleashed. The lights flickered and died, plunging the room into an abyss of darkness. A blood-curdling scream ripped through the silence, followed by a sickening thud. When the lights sputtered back on, the scene was one of pure horror. Diana lay sprawled on the floor, a single playing card, the Queen of Spades, clutched in her lifeless hand. Chaos erupted. Bob scrambled for his phone, his journalistic instincts kicking in. Alice, overcome with terror, huddled in a corner, whimpering hysterically. Charlie, his face contorted in a mixture of fear and morbid fascination, stood frozen in shock. The question hung heavy in the air. Who was the murderer? The vengeful spirit of Elizabeth, or one of the living participants in the ill-fated seance? As Detective Miller, a grizzled veteran with eyes that had seen too much, surveyed the crime scene, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. The scattered planchette, the overturned chair next to Diana's body, the single Queen of Spades, all pointed towards a struggle. He questioned each of the remaining individuals, their stories revealing a web of deceit and desperation. Alice, consumed by grief, confessed her desperate hope that Elizabeth could provide closure about her fiancé's death. Bob, driven by his ambition, admitted fabricating the Elizabeth legend to sensationalize his article. Charlie, his gambling debts mounting, confessed to owing Diana a significant sum of money, a debt he was desperate to erase. The investigation took a chilling turn when a hidden compartment was discovered within the Ouija board, containing a single, blood-stained Queen of Spades card. Forensic analysis revealed a perfect match with Diana's DNA. The truth, as it often does, was far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. Diana, a skilled con artist with a talent for manipulation, had orchestrated the entire charade. She had planted the card within the Ouija board, knowing it would be the murder weapon, framing the vengeful spirit for her own demise. Her motive? To manipulate Charlie, playing on his fear and superstition, into paying off his debts. In the darkness and chaos, she had bludgeoned him with the hidden card, a cruel and calculated act. As Detective Miller delivered the chilling truth, a sense of profound unease settled over the room. The line between the living and the dead had blurred, leaving behind a trail of shattered lives and the chilling realization that the greatest evil often resides not in the shadows, but in the hearts of men. The mansion, forever stained by the tragedy, stood silent against the storm, a grim reminder that sometimes the whispers from beyond are not the ones we should fear the most.